Hi there everyone, just a very quick video just in relation to questionnaires. It's not a particularly popular topic at GCSE, but I've seen it, so it's best worth kind of covering off. Now, a questionnaire, the whole purpose of a questionnaire being in a Maths GCSE kind of topic is very simple, in that if you are asked to collect data, obviously represent data, which a lot of statistics is about, then of course how you ask to get that data is quite important, and how you kind of address that kind of question is quite important. And I suppose it's not something you think about when you're talking about a set of results. Now, if the questionnaire is poor, then your set of results is going to be poor. All right, so there's things to kind of consider. All right. So when I think about a questionnaire to collect data, I want you to design a questionnaire. Be clear, be very, very specific in terms of the question and its ease of understanding. All right, there's no point in waffling on about a variety of different things, which I tend to do when I'm trying to go through these videos. But your job is obviously trying to get a piece of information quickly and concisely off those people who are surveying. All right, the last thing they want is to be stood there listening to waffle on, or the thing they have to write down is taking too long. People will give up. All right, so be clear and concise. Use tick boxes. Sounds obvious, but tick boxes for response information again. So if you don't provide tick boxes, where do they write it? Where's it going to go? And if by providing those tick boxes, it gives them the options of defining where to put the numbers or what your expectations are in terms of those numbers. All right. The other part of it is don't lead people into an answer. So if you're talking about leaving tick boxes, now you might limit what those tick boxes are and lead people into giving certain specific answers. So for an example would be, out of the following choices, which is your favourite food? And you might say curry, Chinese, or pizza. So if you've got curry, Chinese, or pizza, then you're leading them to making one of those three choices. Now, they might like fish and chips. Now, I'm not suggesting that I like or prefer any of those particular foods. What I am suggesting is that by eliminating something or kind of lead them into a certain direction, that you're not going to get a full response from what the people need. So don't lead people into giving a specific answer just because that's what it is you're looking for. You won't get an honest, fair result. And the other aspect is like cover every option with your response section and don't overlap. So, if you're going to say how many hours do you do yoga, then you might say no hours, or 2 hours, or 4 hours. Well, that's not particularly useful because it doesn't cover the fact that some people might do 1 hour. It doesn't cover the fact that people might do 5+ hours. And then you might say, well, what about 4 to 6, and then 5 to 7? Well, once if that might overlap. So think about making sure that it's very clear what they're going to put, and that if they are going to put something, it covers every single aspect and criteria of it. Okay. So we're going to look at that in a bit more detail. We're going to put one together in a minute. But why is this following question particularly unsuitable? All right. So what films do you watch? All right. Any problems with that? Well, lots of problems with it. Is do you write a list of films that you watch? Do you write a type of genre that you watch? Or what? Is it 18 pluses? Is it under 15s? Is it cartoons? Who knows? All right. And there's no response section either there, is there? So there's nothing going to fill in. So it's too open-ended, and I think people would struggle to answer it quickly without some kind of clarification on it. So the question's real because it's just not specific at all. There's no response section either. You just need to think about what your question needs to be and what you're trying to glean from it more than anything else. Right, so let's take an example. So design a questionnaire to find out if males eat more takeaways than females. All right. So if you're going to ask a bunch of people and hand out a bunch of surveys, what might that look like? All right. Well, you need to know, first of all, if the person you are asking is male or female. All right, because you're going to ask them if they eat takeaways or not, aren't you? On how many takeaways they eat. So the first part of your tick box exercise is, are you a male or female? All right, because ultimately that's going to answer the kind of question. All right. So a nice little tick box, male or female, and again, put your name in. No, put your little cross in. Next bit, you want to find out how much they eat. So this is about volume more than anything else, as opposed to types. So in terms of takeaways, now it's basically how many you get, isn't it? And how long, over what period you get it. So you're going to ask them, how many takeaways do you have every year? Well, that'd be quite difficult to kind of keep a track of, wouldn't it? How many takeaways did you have yesterday? Well, that's not a long enough time frame. So it's the time frame you need to consider, isn't it? And I think basically, I would guess, in my own opinion, people would have a takeaway maybe once a month or once a week or something in that kind of that ballpark. All right. So on average, so what they're saying is you make a judgment call. You know yourself. How many takeaways do you eat each week? All right. So you're given a time frame to it, and what they're saying is this is not the same every week. It's not a case of what did you do last week. What you're saying is on average, how many do you have? So that makes them think about, or what do I do on a general week by week basis? And then of course you need a number. Well, how many would you expect that to be? Is it going to be 0 to 10, 10 to 20? Well, it's not going to be that big, is it? Because we're talking about each week. So you've got to keep your numbers relatively small. So you can say, well, none, 1, 2, or 3 plus. And the idea of saying 3 plus is that, well, do you have more than 3 or 3 or more? All right, and that means it leaves it open-ended. So if you have 4, 5, 6, 7 or more, then of course you're going to tick that box. But again, there's no overlap. It's not a case of you have 0 to 2 and then 2 to 4. There's no overlap in there. It's either 0, 1, 2 or 3 plus. All right, and I think most people would get into those boxes. And that's going to get you what you need. All right, and of course, once you collect that data in, you're going to be able to kind of quickly see if you get a lot of boxes which say male and 3 plus, then of course you might argue that men eat more takeaways than females based on your data, or vice versa. If females pick lots of 3 pluses, then maybe they eat more takeaways than men. All right, but of course that will be purely based on the people you ask. All right. Well, hopefully you understand all that, but it's something to kind of consider. If you do want to ask some questions and answer questions and practice on it, please go to maths-school.co.uk where there are some questions for you to practice on. But of course, you can always revisit this to remind yourself of what I've said. All right, thanks for listening.